Red Road Podcast live on Rumble, YouTube, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all the other streaming platforms. I'm your boy Footer. We got Rex over there, and there is a ton to get into. Working out some snafus with our audio and video, but we do have the fix coming, which is always encouraging. Spotify and all the other agreed. Is it?
Yes,
Are you?
agreed. Sorry, I'm an idiot and forgot to
That's
mute
a.
my phone.
We all know what was going on.
What, that I'm an idiot?
No, that the audio was coming through somewhere else. I just needed you to answer. That's all.
All right. Well, it's because I had to take a phone call from somebody earlier, so I'll just shift the blame like a good guy.
Who called you?
Some guy.
Okay, no, you're insinuating I called you before I did. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Well, because I had everything muted, you called me and I had to turn my audio back on to hear you. So
You're hitting a fucking button and putting your volume down. Stop. Just
I'm just saying.
fucking stop today.
You know
the
what?
truth,
Yeah, I don't need the
Jen and I have had it up to here with you today. Enough. We get it. It's frustrating sometimes with the audio and the video. We fucking get it. We get it. Now, are you ready to fucking move on with it? Or you want to sit here and procrastinate? What do you want to do?
I'm here for the show.
Oh, don't you play hat in hand with me. Yeah, but anyway, and I got to be honest with you. Look, I can deal with a lot of hatred from the public. I am so used to putting myself out there as far as entertainment goes,
Yeah.
or lack thereof, however you want to claim it.
Now who's hat in hand?
Oh no, but I'm being dead serious, and only because it's not hat in hand. It's because look, there is the perception of what someone likes and someone doesn't like,
For sure.
right? So I always got that. So for example, like with the music and the band, I never accepted for anybody to say that we sucked. If you said we sucked, then I know you're a fucking phony. You have an agenda, and you're just you're being a dick. Because I never sucked. Have I had bad shows? Sure. But never sucked. If you wanted to say you didn't like my music or you didn't like, whatever, that's fine. But there's a big difference. Fair?
Yeah, and there's also, hey, you're the worst podcast in the world as opposed to like this in this area. I find that it could be a little bit better, because we're not the worst podcast in the world. Yeah, we should write that on a t-shirt. But if you have a specific critique or something that is insightful or something that could help us out, I'll take that into more consideration. But just you suck is a little bit overbroad.
Well, my point to all this was I don't even have a problem with the I sucks. Like meaning with the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I haven't honed this new show enough where I'm like, like you might not like the content, you might not like the audio,
Right.
and stuff. But I find offense to fucking all of this old shit. Like that's really starting to annoy me.
Good. Just let them know that annoys you. That's always a good first move.
Exactly why I'm doing it. It's called the old whoop. I bait him right in. Dummies, you fucking dummies. Oh, welcome aboard, everybody. But yeah, I think that's the part that annoys me because again, in context, maybe I'm old because you might be like 19. But then if you are, the truth is you're uninformed. You haven't lived your life. You know what I mean? Your face doesn't have the wounds. You know what I mean? Your heart doesn't have the wounds. Your soul doesn't have the wounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't respect you enough. Now,
you kids today with your K-pop and no cap and Roblox video games.
Well, that's also, I think these dummies don't understand that that's what we play into, you fucking dopes.
A little aggressive. A little aggressive.
Well, again, you can blame yourself for that.
Me?
Yeah, this could have
What
came
did I
out because this is see when I talk to you as your friend, and you frustrate me, I show you compassion and empathy. So I take that all in. You know what I mean? So you won't get this when it's just me and you 99.9% of the time. But when I'm on air and those mics go live, then I can just fucking, it's like you have a safe zone. You know what I mean? When the mic's on. So your frustration has gotten me. I'm not angry. I'm not mad at you, but I'm fucking pumped up. And now
Good.
that we bring up a topic of something, I'm gonna be probably maybe over animated about what it is, but it's because of you.
Yeah, that's
And you might have done it on purpose, which is good play.
well, that's what I do. I will say though.
Not what you do.
Oh, okay. Your video and audio is just superb. Just so you know. The problem is I can see your shoulders up a little bit.
No, equal. Again, remember this. No, I'm opposite. Then you know what I mean? Like, anyway.
Is it an overcompensation?
No. My point is, what I'm saying is, I'm opposite, meaning via camera. So when I'm looking, it's not making sense. But my point is, usually it would be like this, right?
Yeah,
Like
usually it's the other arm.
it is, yeah. But okay, so usually it's like this, right? Like
Yeah.
this is shoulder up. Both. I'm equal. I haven't had the shoulder problem in a while. I think Susan Bissell fixed it.
Oh, good. I'm glad that she was able to help.
Yeah. But
Um,
by the way, go out and pick up her book. Fucking phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
does lay out the case for sure for the very edgy prognostication of helping kids around the world.
Yeah, I'd like to get her. I would like to get her back on. Even a quick call. I'd love to know her take on the whole Gaza Strip. The difference between like the NATO. Was it NATO that was giving the funds, and then with the whole thing we spoke about with the private company,
Right.
and I just don't remember. It's been so long, so I don't remember the letters.
Yeah, I think it was UNRWA was the main facilitator of aid in the Gaza Strip at the
Right.
time.
And then the UFH or something. One of
No, UFH.
yeah, you. Um, but I think there was some sort of like I said, it was a private one. I would anyway. I would love to get her on and see her take on that because there's a lot of misinformation going on, and I'm sure she would have the true story, what's going on the ground there. Not because she's involved, but just because of her connections. Because I'm sure she would probably be so curious to know what the real story is.
So we're going to get into some of the facts and fallacies and conspiracies, and kind of Footer and I are similar on our takes of what happened.
Mhm.
But I think that we do have a couple of different takes on a few things. So we're going to get into that. But if you don't mind, Footer,
Mhm.
I'm going to assume you don't mind. You and I had talked about something yesterday, and you wanted a little bit of I don't know, some sort of a moral validation from me and the family. And
Is that what I was looking for?
it kind of sounded like it. You said you
Could have
wanted
been.
to show me the video to either exonerate you or condemn you of murder. Not that I'm sitting that kind of a throne,
Get to the
but
point. What are we talking about here?
you're a crab killer.
I've been disease free my entire life. Roll of the dice, sure, but disease free.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Can you just, in brief, and that's no condemnation of your long-windedness, tell us a little bit of what happened yesterday?
Long-windedness, by the way, everybody. He means carrying this fucking podcast on my fucking back.
Nobody does it better.
So that's what he means, aka long-windedness. Um, So, first, if you could, is it possible to pull up the picture of the perpetrator?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, just I want because I want context set before I talk about this horrific experience that I had in the trauma that I had because of it.
Yeah, I
I
think
just need it. I need everybody to, as this picture is being pulled up, I want you to imagine in your backyard, beautiful tropic Florida, palm trees. You're in the backyard, right off the golf course. You're sitting. You have your bare feet. For me, I happened to have sliders on, open toe. It was nighttime, basically in my PJs, relaxing. Right, a citronella candle burning, little torch going. Everything just felt right. And all of a sudden, I hear a rustle in the bushes.
Kurt Russell Brand.
Brand.
Hmm.
Yep. Guess who's back on the sauce? Allegedly.
Oh,
But
is that true?
no, 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 no.
I was gonna
Fake
say.
news. Fake news. Okay.
Again, I have a hard time believing this is an actual picture.
Again, it's look. It's the best of my recollection. Okay. And to be
Did
honest
he
with
steal
you,
your sunglasses and my gun?
again, I don't know where he finds his daytime apparel and or eyewear and or firearms or ballistics.
It's a
But what
place
I
called Hermits.
yeah um he goes um fuck he goes to crustacean ballistics. um um anyway the
It struck me a lot more funny than it really was.
I don't think so. But my point here is this is how I felt. And in the moment, I think we all need to have context of where I was and how I felt. So to me, yes, this is a perfect depiction of what I was dealing with.
I do have a little bit of an issue is that he has the sunglasses below his alien eyes. It's sort of like a Chuck Schumer crab killer.
No, the truth is, I probably left this out. He was very coy. You know what I mean? He was a coy crustacean.
Okay, so please explain to me what do you mean by coy? He was like a little
Like just his like his attitude. He had a very coy, the glasses down. Just it was just an all around feeling. You know what I mean? That's how he was going to be.
but was there a deviousness in his coyish, like a precociousness?
Um, the truth, I couldn't get a good read, but
Interesting.
with that visual, in keeping that visual, everybody in your mind,
Hmm.
um, and I also, do you have a little video I sent you? Because I just want to show you how dangerous um, these predators could actually be.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't think I sent her over the video, so you're gonna have
okay,
to
that's
hit me
fine.
up on that.
Okay, it was just basically showing the absolute predator like behavior um, that a crab takes on.
It's going to come up in your text. You're going to have to email it to the show.
But anyway, it'll show very good context of just how predatorial these crustaceans are.
Even if they're coy, you're saying.
Yeah.
Because
Oh yeah.
coy sort of says to me that there's a little bit of bashfulness, a little bit of reservation in the crustacean. That
No, that was meaning his. That was to try to explain like his sunglasses down, like he was trying to what I mean, throw me off, like
oh,
and be like, oh no, look look how unarming I am. You know what I mean? Yet as
no.
he stood there with the fucking gun.
Now you mentioned did the crab actually have a firearm of some kind? Some kind?
Again, probably not, but look, I think it's going to feed into this shooting footage as well. I mean, do we know? Could it have? Yeah, I think it could have. It probably didn't, but it could have.
But I mean, you did you see a gun?
Well, I'll tell you, I didn't see the gun.
Okay, but
I
he
didn't.
could have been shelling it. Is that what you're saying?
Again, tucked away somewhere. He did. Now, I did notice as he was uh, crabbing away, it was just, like one of his crab legs were a little straight
Mm,
as he was walking.
that's telling.
Um, yeah. So what he had in there, I don't know. Again, later on, I did find a little towel, but nothing was
Mm.
in it. Yeah. So again, all I'm saying is I don't know.
Yeah,
I,
you would think with all that feet, he could probably hang on to it. All right,
again,
hang on. We're just gonna pause that, and then we'll pull it up here in a second.
and
Uh,
this is gonna to explain the ferocity of the predator that I had to go up against in the middle of the night in my tropic area where I
yeah,
thought I was safe in my own home.
yeah, it's gonna be your killer crab synopsis here. Go ahead, kid. Yeah, it's being.
It's all right.
There we go.
Okay, look at this. Look at this animal. Look at him. Oh my god. Look at this thing. There's basically two tigers, full-fledged tigers coming at this. They might be in like the Serengeti, coming at a crab. And the crab, what does he do? He's attacking these poor, helpless tigers.
Are you watching the same thing? Those look like kittens.
What'd you say?
They look like kittens.
I think it's all in perception. To
Oh,
me,
okay.
yeah, I see what I see, and I see two tigers, really just being curious, and this crab coming at them, basically with a machine gun. Oh, you heard that? Think about if your toe was in there.
Now, would you say that the crab that you encountered was similar to this in size and
Probably bigger.
What'd you call me?
No, hard R.
Oh, um, yeah.
Bigger.
So
Bigger.
now, did the crab actually claw at you?
Well, well, technically no. With
Okay.
that being said, have you ever encountered a grizzly bear in the woods and surprise him?
No,
Okay.
no, I
Well,
haven't.
here's what would happen. He'd get on his hind legs, right? And he like you do like a grizzly bear hind leg, very intimidating, right?
Sure. I mean, it's
Y-
a grizzly bear that could kill you.
Right. Same thing with the crab. Did the same
How is
exact posture.
well? I
Posture.
mean, the same thing is sort of
What?
a little misleading because this is a crab that maybe on his best day weighs about 6 ounces. A grizzly bear, can weigh a half a ton. So
I
I'm
think
not.
two things can be true at one time. Sure.
I guess.
You know. Okay. Okay. So that's fine. Not a problem. So let's scale this down. All
Hmm,
right. Forget
okay.
about me fearing for my life.
Down goes scale.
I was fearing for my toes. My toes, my fingers. Some. What if I was I'm not gonna lie. I go commando in my PJs. What if there was a little something that was dangling that shouldn't have been dangling? Next thing you know, peekaboo. You know what I mean?
Right. So I mean, but again, and unless you're sitting Indian style, I don't think that's going to come into play.
Well, I mean, I,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I mean crisscross applesauce. Go ahead.
yeah, let's keep it clean.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
want to do that.
well, again, no, I mean, I could have, listen, I don't want to talk about my appendage right now, but the point of this whole thing is that something terrible could have happened and I couldn't take that risk. So when I heard this rumble, and keep in mind, everybody, the pictures that we just saw of the fucking that predator that was attacking those two tigers, and that evil um, Terminator looking predator that you saw on your screen earlier. So and again, keeping in mind, I'm in paradise. I'm not thinking of anything that I would have to be worried. What am I in the Serengeti? No, So as I sit there, I hear the rustle. And what does any brave man do? He gets up to see what the rustling is. Now,
Yeah.
I look and I see what I believe to be a giant, 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 giant spider. That's what I first thought.
I mean, if it is indeed a crab, I could see where you could make
So
that
I
claim.
I panic. Oh fuck! Look at that! Holy fuck! Look at that spider.
Yeah. I
So
could see where a man of your stature would panic.
yeah, I mean spiders alone. You know, a small spider isn't pleasant. A big one's terrible.
That's true. Jen would
So
agree with you.
yeah, so I do what any other alpha male does.
Yeah, not
I
any other, but we'll say some,
okay. I go and grab my weapon,
which is
a metal pole.
now when you say metal pole,
Mm-hmm.
we talking about like an umbrella extension?
Exactly,
Okay,
exactly that. The outdoor umbrella extension. I lifted. I hit the little button, pulled out. So now I got myself about a
like a
three.
katana at this, or
I
what do
have
we call it,
a 3 to
a
4
bow
foot.
staff.
Yeah, I have a 3 to 4 foot.
You're Leonardo.
Again, DiCaprio possibly because of my good looks. And by the way, probably the same age, you fucks. But yet him? What? He's Mr. Cool? Go fuck yourselves. Anyway, and Russell Brand too. You like him? Is he an old fuck?
Or even
Fuck
Kurt
you.
Russell.
It's not. We're dealing with podcasters here. Please let's keep
Russell
it consistent.
Simmons?
Let's easy. Scott Bat Porch Scorch. Storch.
No.
So again, basically in a nutshell, I come to investigate. I give a little poke. The thing comes at me like a fucking again, like you saw on the video. He just comes at me. He's up. Okay, his eyes are looking at me. They're very alien like. He's chomping away. He's chomping away.
Okay, what distance are we talking about? Now I understand that recalling your raccoon video that maybe distances might be a little
Your ass, bro. Very accurate distance wise. I'm great with distance.
All right, so where are you at?
I'm about 2 feet away.
24 inches.
24 inches away.
So like that.
Yeah. With my home protection. Right?
Yeah.
So I feel comfortable being even 2 feet away. Some of you are probably going, wow, this guy's crazy. What a hero to be 2 feet away from such a fucking predatorial creature. But no, I'll be honest. I felt
Are you talking about the crab? This is what the crab feels?
No.
Oh, you mean you?
Yeah, me.
Oh, okay. I thought
I'm the one. I'm the one that was. Listen, I've been home invaded. I'm not the home invader. We're dealing with a home invasion basically here.
Well, he's not in your home.
He's on my patio.
Yeah.
He's on my property. Bottom line, this is very. Listen, I live in Florida. Stand your motherfucking ground. Very important here in Florida. So
is that what the sign says? Stand your motherfucking ground.
Well, I'm pumped. Okay.
Yeah.
And we don't have anybody under 18 here. I'm going sick right now. Yeah. Dicks. How's that feel, everybody? Anyway.
How many women have you said that to?
Women. Anyway, so again, I'm in a hyper threatened state. The predator comes at me. I poke him a few times, right?
Yeah.
Now, again, one would think him turning around and scurrying to hide underneath my little generator is him retreating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it that way at all. I saw it really. I don't know if he's going in for more ammo. I don't know what he had there. Was there some sort of a silent gang whistle that he was going to use and call in other crustaceans? Who knows? Will an octopus come out of nowhere? I don't know, but we're
You
dealing
talk
with
to
some.
him nicely.
If you stroke his tentacle, maybe.
Mm.
Um, so will he arrive? I don't know. So my point is, at this point, it's a very hypersensitive moment. I think we've all been there. I think a lot of you know what? I think a lot of police officers and military that listen to this will understand the hypersensitive predicament that I'm in right now.
Okay.
You
Now,
know,
what are the colorings of this crab? What is the crab color?
a very evil blue and white, like a very like a deviant blue and white.
Okay, so it's a blue crab.
Again, you know, I don't know. I mean, again, all I see is red from his eyes.
Hmm.
You know,
Well, the reason I'm making
and
this
it's hard to see his color due to his huge fangs. Go on.
Whoa, what? It had
No,
fangs?
go ahead. No, you were saying something?
I'm just trying to figure out the actual species here because you don't want to be messing with an endangered
Well, what
species.
do you have?
The federal crime.
Do you happen to know what the endangered species would be? What would it be called?
There is none in Florida. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So then, again, so as I said, one would think he was retreating. I myself aren't former military or law enforcement, but
No.
I'm sure they would understand that, and my natural instinct as a man, I probably just automatically on that level. So I spring into action, knowing he probably isn't retreating and hiding from me.
And it
Right.
also poses no danger.
Again, that's what the layman may think, right? But being in this hypersensitive situation, which I'm sure you've never been in, our military that have been in wars, maybe our cops that have been in some gunfights, myself, we would understand these things. And I say myself due to the crab situation. So I'm in this mode, right? So I start poking into where he has, I like to say, bunkered down to reset. Okay.
So he's hiding from you right now.
Again, bunkered down to reset.
Seems like you're using a lot of liberties with words right now that really don't have any validation. But go ahead.
Don't accuse me as being the FBI. Good one.
Topical.
Yeah. So again, as he's bunkered down, trying to reset and figure out his next plan to attack me, I like more like people that have been in this situation, like military and law enforcement, we spring into action.
And let's remember, I did fight a bear, so I do know a little bit about this.
Okay, so then there you know. So as I like to say, as I adapt to the situation and adjust.
How much time has passed since initial approach?
I would say maybe minute and a half to 2 minutes.
Okay, so you're working quick.
Yeah. I wasn't going to allow him to regroup. Like I said, who knows what's on their mind? He's already wandered onto my property. You know what I mean? What's next? We've talked about the crustaceans that he could have called. We've talked about octopuses, the octopi.
I believe, yeah.
Octopi. Okay, we've talked about all these things, right? God, does anybody have any pie? I'm starving. But we've discussed. So I have to make a move, as I said. So I go in. I start to poke him, or as I like to say, like almost smoke him out of their bunker. You know what I mean?
Smoked crab, delicious.
Remember, and I wouldn't, if we don't mind, from here on in, can we not refer to him as the crab? Let's refer to him as what he was, the intruder.
You're not.
Is that fair?
You're not going to guide my speech. I will call it as I see it, sir.
Okay. So as the intruder began to bunker down, as I said, and regroup, I began to poke the bunker to try to force him out, right, to expose the perp, right? So now I'm poking. A few of the times he comes out, he bows up at me, snip, 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 I go to poke him. You would think he got scared and ran back underneath the thing. No. What he did was he bowed up, realized that I meant business, okay, and then went back into a very small area that he was covered in and he felt protected in, which I like to call the bunker that he was regrouping in.
Now you do not feel any duty to retreat here.
Well, I think that would be no, because no, that would be a problem because then in my head I'm going, well, God knows when does he? Would I forget about him and then just go relax with my little?
Well, there is
You know,
no
my
immediate
feetsies?
mortal threat, and there's nothing you've
To
even
who?
to you. There is no mortal threat, correct?
You ever see? You ever? Let me ask you this: You ever see a toe snapped, clipped off by a crab?
Whether I have or I haven't, that's not a mortal threat. That's a
Yeah. What if he hits an artery and I bleed the fuck out right there on the porch? Then what happens, Rex?
it
Then
has
what
never
happens?
happened in real life.
Again, are we dealing with what happened or can happen or what's plausible? It's very plausible. So my point here is I'm defending my home. He tries to retreat, okay, to his bunker to try to regroup. I decided again to poke, right? He is at this point, he leaves his bunker. So I see my opening, right?
Can I hang on a second? What is that in chat?
It says hi. And only Rumble participants can see this. That's great.
Oh yeah, that's true. Can we just call the crab Sebastian? Maybe give him a little bit of a
Why are we?
personality.
But no, because that would be humanizing. Okay, this is a heinous intruder with came in weapons blazing, aggressive. I mean, again, I think I've made it very clear with my presentation. I showed you a picture to represent. I've showed you video to show you the aggression that could have taken place.
But
Okay,
neither one of those are this crab.
again,
You're stereotyping.
again.
You're an aquatic bigot.
Okay. um, I like that though. This aquatic racism will not stand on my watch. So crustaceanism.
You're a crustist.
Yeah. So again, we're getting to a point now where I feel I'm in a life or death situation and I need to act. He's
Okay.
now left his bunker. Okay, he's out onto the middle of the what we'll call the field, which is about a foot of sand. Okay, which is in between my patio and a water drain and my air conditioner unit.
So now is he closer or farther away from you?
About the same. Yeah, he's about the same. Now, when he did come out to possibly attack me, I did go back a little bit, and then I had to react. Once I saw his claws go up,
But he's done this a couple of times now, right?
right. So at this point, I'm going, you know what? This is probably the kill shot. So I'm saying to myself, this is probably the kill shot. I need to react. I need to do something. I need to protect my home and my feet and my tootsies, right? Like any alpha male does. So I spring into action. I raise the bar and I come down. And what it does, it makes a quick duck and under, right? Takes 2 swipes at me, knocks the pole from my hand. Okay?
I'm listening.
Right? So now I'm unarmed. I'm nervous. Right? I look at him. We both
You allowed a crab to knock the pole out of your hand?
And then, all right. So our you know how weird their eyes are, right? I saw
Mhm.
them, yeah, I saw them get real that angry, and we both like my eyes met his eyes, and we looked, and in like a movie, slow motion, we both start reaching for the pole.
So you think the crab is going to use the pole against you?
The crab is going to reach. I'm all right. Maybe none of that part happened.
Okay.
I still have the pole. Okay, so I do
Oh,
come.
oh, so the crab didn't knock the pole out of your hand. That was all
No,
made up. Let's stricken that from the record.
yeah,
But let's
no.
keep in the fact that Footer's lying.
Not lying. This is more of a feeling. I felt this way.
Your feels don't count. This is a court of a public opinion.
Okay. So again, as this predator began to, as some would say, maybe retreat, I say, come at me. I lifted, and I can see the chat, by the way. And I don't like humanizing this crab because you should really have a picture of a fucking uh, some sort of an alien or an evil monster because that's what I was dealing with here. So I come down with obviously the precision of a ninja,
Maybe you should have done it the first swipe.
right? And I miss him again. Okay,
Mhm.
but again, not because of I wasn't good. It was because of the craftiness of this fucking crab. You know,
Crab,
this was
crab,
no ordinary crab.
crab, crab.
Apparently,
Hmm.
it wasn't.
Okay.
Okay, did I mention that he blocked it and knocked it away from me?
Yeah, but then you said that didn't happen.
Yeah, no, that didn't, but it felt that way to me. Like in my head, I felt that sense of urgency. So I figured if I painted that picture, at least you guys would understand my urgency of I need to end this situation. We can't live like this as humans, as Americans. You know what I mean? If anything, what did Charlie pass for? You know what I mean? So this is all going through of my in my head. I'm basically doing this for America, right? So with my third blow, whoa,
Mhm.
um, I come down and I make contact.
Oh boy. Now you said that this crab was like bluish and white. You said
Depends on what does the wildlife thing say that you looked up.
no. I'm just saying. You said it was like bluish and white.
It was very the truth again. It's very hard to see. It was at nighttime.
Yeah.
It looked to me a little bluish and white, but the truth, the rage that I saw in this crab's eyes, I think color.
What color would you say his eyes were?
The truth, I don't know, Rex. Have you ever seen the devil's eyes? What color is the devil's eyes exactly? That's my
Oh, I'm
point.
just saying. You
What's
have
the color? Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question, Rex.
fire away.
What's the color of evil,
I would say
Rex?
red.
Well, then, my point is,
My point is that you just struck an animal that's red, white, and blue, son.
his eyes weren't red. He was
Oh,
seeing.
now we
He's
backpedal.
seeing red. He was the truth. His eyes really were like almost like a doorway to hell. Is what they were. There were two pathways to hell. Is what how I saw it. So as the blow came down, I struck him.
Hmm.
Okay, I heard the crackage of shell.
Hmm.
Um, a piece of the shell might have shot up, and I now have blood trickling from my cheek. So I see the blood, I panic, and I continue to come down over and over and over and over and over again with my pole to the to this to the back of this predator.
Now, I mean, it seems to me that there was some perhaps pent up rage um, that you put on this defenseless animal for no reason, even if it was defense. I think that was accomplished with the first unchristian like blow that you laid upon it.
Again, I'm not familiar with this scenario that you speak of. That's
Now,
not the
there's also
scenario that
some
I
people are
recall.
saying that the death blow was perhaps delivered by somebody else.
And
I'm just saying this that there is an impact wound, but
okay, Candace.
there was no
There was
no
no
damage to the bottom of the crab,
right.
which
There
is
was
all.
no.
With the size of a pole, you would think that there would just be absolute destruction from front to back.
No, he was absolutely fucking smashed, and I never knew that had green guts.
Yeah.
Oh, he was absolutely destroyed. Fucking destroyed him.
Hmm.
And again, look, you know, I think as people know, ex-military and ex-law enforcement understand that listen, we have to go home to, we have to go home to our families with this feeling. It's not easy, you know.
It was a half a step in an open slider door. It's not like you have to go back from Bagram Air Force Base.
Again, sure, short flight, if you want to call it that. But you know, still had to retreat back to my comfort area. Um, so um, you know, I feel like, again, did I feel good about it? No, no, I don't feel good about it. Do I feel like it was necessary? Maybe not, maybe not. But even so, um, I think that in the moment, anybody would have done the same thing that I did.
Was the murder weapon recovered?
You're talking about, what are you talking about? The shooter with Charlie Kirk?
No. The umbrella pole.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
wipe it off and reuse? Or was it completely destroyed in the melee?
Well, I don't know, because if you're gonna say, if you're gonna claim, if
Disassemble the pole and then reassemble.
you wish. No, I have the poll.
Oh, okay.
But again, I really want everybody to please understand. Like, don't let Rex or the chat. This isn't a little cute little Sebastian from Finding Nemo, or from, you know, this isn't a little pal of Ariel's. This is a brutal dictator that killed 6 million Jews. Oh no, that was Hitler. Okay, but this was a very, very, very bad crab.
But again, you haven't really placed any or given me any sort of tangible evidence that that's the case, and that's not
Well,
just
what about me? What about me bleeding?
overreaction from somebody who didn't get enough sleep the night before.
What about the bleeding?
You were bleeding.
No.
See, this is why we can't be friends.
Why?
Because you're a psychopath.
That's why we can't be friends.
Well, I mean, again, I've overlooked a lot of other things, but
That's my point. I was going to say, Jesus Christ.
I'd like to say it's maybe the straw that broke the crab's back.
Wow. That was funny and hit close. But again, you know what? I'm sleeping fine at night with a lot of pills and magnesium. So for me, it's nothing, because I understand I did the right thing to protect myself.
I mean, do you think this will be brought up at the gates when you die?
It may, but no. You know what? I don't think it will. I
Okay.
really don't. Because again, have you ever stepped on an ant?
Yeah.
There you go. Is that going to be brought up?
Well, I mean, one was intentional, and the other one usually is not.
Well, I mean, why are we not putting him on trial? What was he doing in my home?
Well, I mean, you know, it is common knowledge that animals don't recognize property borders.
Says who? What are you, big crustacean?
So you're saying to me that if
That was a good
You know,
launch. Reserve
a
more.
fluffy poodle from across the street were to come over, it was you could take it out,
If it goes to bite me, sure.
but that's not what happened.
Allegedly.
I'm just
Again.
saying. I think you could have made some better choices here. You
And
know,
what about the and what about the crab situation?
what does that have to do with this story? Well, I mean, I think you're imparting a little bit too much anthropomorphic features into this crustacean, this simple, pure, loving uh, animal of God.
I've never said
Um,
anything about an ant morphing into into a crab, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Again, I think you could have exercised a little bit of better judgment here rather than just murdering an animal out of spite of society.
I think you're kind of again you're Bob Rossing this into a crime when it was more of
And you're Bram Stokering it.
I'm the victim here in this situation. I'm the victim that by the skin of his teeth made it through. I mean, you know how
No, but
God.
no. The victim is the crab. You're victim blaming.
I mean, he walked up in a short little skirt. You know what I mean? What does he expect? See what I did there?
You're not winning anybody over now.
Yeah.
Just admit you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's it. Repent.
No.
Charlie would want you to repent.
Yeah, I want you to fucking repent
For
painting a picture that isn't true.
again, I don't think the facts and the embellishing of non-facts is really on your side right now. Again, if you feel good about yourself, then there's nothing I can do about it.
Listen, nobody, as I said, ask any ex-military and law enforcement. Sure, you don't
They
feel
would
good
call
about.
you a sick psychopath.
No, they would understand in the moment of battle, war, life or death situations.
Well,
Sometimes we do things that we're not proud of.
I'll tell you what. I think JR is coming up here in a couple of weeks. We'll ask him since he's ex-military.
No, okay, but he would. What is he gonna do? Fucking give him a rear naked choke? I mean, no.
You said ask any military or police law enforcement.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that?
Okay, but make sure he listens to the show and first and understands the clear and present danger that was happening at the moment.
Well, you can clearly lay it out, or if you have somebody who's police that's going to stand up for you, then you can go ahead and bring them on as well.
Right. Well, there may or may not be live video about 4 to 5 minutes long of all of the footage.
So even though you were scared, you had the wherewithal to videotape this.
Maybe it was my fucking ring cam.
Was it?
No.
Hmm.
And the truth is, I was going to give it to you and post it to you, but right after, somebody from my organization came and pulled the footage out of the camera.
The HOA?
We don't know. Might have been who's.
All right, so that's enough on that. We'll let the
I love how fucking this dumb story just lasted 49 minutes long of absolute horse shit.
yeah. Well, it's something that needs to be told, so people kind of understand who the nice one is on the show and who isn't.
Yep.
So,
I feel like I feel stoned right now.
well, it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, I could be, but I'm not.
How do you want to do this? This layout.
Yeah. All right. So I think what we'll do is this. Let's give the. I think the main. Let me give the main show stance. I think is we are definitely both on the same page, and I think you said it best. Um, and I'll let you say it your way. But basically, when you said, like if someone's going to make a claim, you didn't say this, but like if you're going to make the claim, then you need to present the facts. So, how did you say it? I think to one of the commenters. Do you remember exactly how you phrased it?
Well, again, we can probably pull it up, but they had basically said that I didn't have any of the facts, and they were claiming that something else had happened other than what's the main FBI story. And where are my facts to prove that? I think I'm not going to say believe, but that it's quite probable that the story that we understand it to be right now is probably how it laid out. And he said, you don't have any facts. This is how it went out. And I said, okay, well, if you're going to have an extraordinary claim, then you're going to need to have some extraordinary evidence.
Right. I actually maybe think I said it better, but either way, that's a good way too. And that's I think I am on this same page 100% with you there. We most certainly have to. No, let me rephrase that. I'm trying to approach this as simple as let's use like 9/11 for an example. Sure, there are 1,000 different things
All
you
right.
can take into
Here,
consideration. Yeah,
I'll give you the.
but let me just. But I think it's just as simple as like the 9/11. Hey, we got caught with our pants down. Arabs came with box cutters and used intimidation. Their plan worked. They got lucky.
Yeah.
Go
Occam's razor. Right. Um, Actually, I shaved with Occam's razor this morning and
you
started growing
nicked
it back.
yourself.
Whoa. What?
Yeah, yeah. You hated Jews to yourself,
Oh,
Nick.
okay.
See what I did?
So, Tom Shepard had wrote, I don't know, dude, do you have any compelling evidence that is definitely not a conspiracy?
It's not how it works.
Right. And he said, can you provide definitely that the Fed is telling the truth? Does their timeline work? They even got the time wrong by 2 hours. You're telling us that it is okay for the Feds to be sloppy about their conducts
No,
because by your logic, chaos by Tom O'Neill, he lied and smeared helter skelter. Da, da, da. So what I wrote was, come on, let me slide. Hang on. So I wrote, it's incumbent on you to provide evidence. If you're composing a narrative outside of the known fact, just because there are some conspiracies doesn't mean that everything is a conspiracy.
that's what I wanted you to read earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Look, I'm not saying, and as excuse me, and as we get into this, you know, I'm very skeptical of a lot of the things that are surrounding the shooter and the assassination.
Right.
But until I can't, as you said, like I I have to go with the narrative from the people on the ground, from the official narrative, because I want and hope and believe that they have the resources and the wherewithal that they're going to give us the right story. Now, I'm not comfortable ruling out pretty much anything, any other theories that people have. But I need that same, not me. I think we need to give the narrative out there the same amount of respect. So, what annoys me in the big picture is that with all of the listen, this administration is supposed to be the most transparent, and the FBI is supposed to be the most transparent. Bullshit. Um, I'm not saying they have to be all of the time, because I think there's sometimes that they shouldn't be, for reasons of national security. And I know everybody hates this word, but it's a slippery slope. Yes, because you don't want to give them leave, because they can always just put something that they want to hide into the basket of national security. So I get it. So I don't want to hear the comments of people trying to school me on why that's dumb to say. I get it. I understand it, and especially when we are dealing with the Epstein shit, that I feel like the FBI has dropped the ball, and a couple of other things. You have dummy fucking Pam Bondi, running the show there as far as that goes. So again, it takes away from my confidence. I love Dan Bongino. I love him. I don't hate Cash Patel. Okay.
I think he's in
But,
over his head. That's the problem with Cash.
well, do you remember the recording I said to you the other day? And I was trying to get the point, and I don't know if I got it.
Gross, in a bathtub.
um, it was something to the effect of, like, I think
It
that,
wasn't
like,
even your bathtub.
yeah, it was filled with blood. The thing I was trying to say is, like, I think Dan Bongino got himself into a position where it was like, he always felt like there was, maybe, like, where his morality, like, and his job, like, he would be able to somehow justify, like, there's like a line that's there that
Yeah.
he would be able to justify, like, maybe keeping quiet. And he always, but I forget how I explained it to you, but I don't believe that he's a piece of shit, and
Right.
and he's allowing misinformation, or he's hiding. I don't believe Dan Bongino is hiding a pedophile ring that he knows about, that he does not want to prosecute people for. I don't believe that for a second. There's got to be a reason for that. With that being said, sorry, going back to this, they need to be a lot more. And you said to me, well, why do they have to tell us everything? Well, because the truth, because they fucked up a lot, and they go around claiming to be the most transparent administration. So fucking prove it and answer the questions.
But again, that's not how investigations work. I had said to you that there's never been a, where they
Don't
have,
say there's
okay,
never been.
to my knowledge, there's never been an investigation where all of the facts and all of the data is readily available by mom sleuths on Instagram. That's just not how it works, and especially something that has national implications. You do have to be careful. There is a protocol, no matter what agency you're dealing with. So you do have to fall within, those protocols. As
Is
far
that
as
what you're saying is happening?
I'm saying, that it's just not. It's not standard procedure to say, here's every picture that we've taken, here's every interview that we've had, here's all the timestamps.
That's not what
And
we're asking.
you also have to work within the confines of convicting this guy. You
It's a
can't.
red herring.
What's a red herring?
That you're adding all of these other particulars. I'm not saying you have to release every photo you have, every interview you have. Nobody said that. Nobody said open up the entire books and let us all look.
So what are you looking for?
So no. I am asking this. Answer the questions that every single 90% of the people have out there. There's 10%
like
of people.
what?
Well, okay. Well, aren't we going to go through all that?
I'm just, that's my point, is I don't
Well,
understand what you're looking for.
You need to release the autopsy report.
When it's done, they will.
Okay, so my point is, I'm going to go back to saying your narrative is saying we're not getting the answers that we think we should get, where we both know there are some things that are not adding up, that it's not just black and white. And we're saying we'd like the answer to those questions. Your narrative is telling me that it's still the midst of an investigation, so you're willing to give them the leeway. I'll accept that if that's what you want to say.
That's indeed what I'm saying.
Okay, that's fine, but there are questions.
Sure. I mean,
We do, and we do
a
deserve
lot
the
more
answers.
questions than answers.
And we do deserve the answers.
Eventually, we do. Yes.
What? Give me an example. Do we have to JFK this?
No, my point is that they still have to prosecute and convict this guy
What do we?
and any other associates or people that are surrounded with it. So it's also imperative that if there are other actors, that they don't have all of the information that the FBI and the investigators have to either prepare their case or defend their case or leave town or whatever.
You just did the best example of me. That's exactly how I feel about the Epstein thing. Like, I don't think they're hiding things. I think it's exactly what you said. Just so you know,
Okay.
that's exactly how I feel with the Epstein thing. Because I can't believe that they're hiding.
Yeah, that's
like,
okay,
I think that there's something going on that's bigger. So I'll use that same logic, and I'll go, okay. I can understand that, but it needs to come out, and it can't be a JFK thing. And you did,
right.
and just to your point of never has evidence or whatever been shown this quick, blah 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 blah, whatever you said, which is fine. And I don't even have to give you an example of where it has. I would just basically say, again, because of the position that they've put themselves in, they're almost obligated to do that. But if they can't because of an investigation, fine. Well, meaning I'll grant that, right? But it needs to be answered. It needs to be answered. Again, we're the most transparent. Okay, then you better be. We both know there's a lot of questions, and really quick, because I have a few notes, right?
Yeah, can I just back up on something you had
Of
said
course.
before about Dan Bongino? The other sort of reason or thing to back the reasoning behind why I stand behind Bongino is he has zero impetus to stay in a job that he's doing right now unless he's actually thinks he's doing good, because he gave up a multi-million-dollar job to serve his country. So there's no reason, if he was like, this is bullshit, I'm out, and go back to that.
Yeah, fear of his life and his family's protection. That's the only way. You know what I mean?
So you think that his family?
No.
Oh, I'm just asking. Like, you think that would be on the table if he just bowed out right now?
I was kind of making more to your point of that. I agree. The only other thing would be as serious as him going, no, now we're in the midst of this shit. You're sticking this out. You know what I'm saying? And again, who's they are saying?
Yeah.
Whoever they're protecting. And again, I don't know. And maybe they're protecting no one.
Right.
And then maybe that's why Bongino didn't leave. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I agree with you as far as morally, he's not going to do that. But maybe it is as something as, wow, it's like, Jesus Christ, like World War III is starting immediately if I drop the ball on this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that?
Sorry, I was swallowing a yawn. Yeah, no, I understand. You ever have to do that?
Encouraging.
I didn't get a lot of sleep last night or the night before, so I'm a little tired, which is part of the reason why I'm so easy to get along with. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons that it could be, but that again, I've listened to Dan for a long period of time, and he's almost never wrong. I can think of one time that he was wrong, because he had once stated that Christine Blasey Ford would never show up to testify against Kavanaugh, and she did. That's the only time I could ever say that he has been on the record wrong.
You were gonna get 10 comments of people telling you when he was wrong. And here's the best part about it: 8 of them are going to be false.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
And again, he could have been, but
right.
he's usually
But that's what's going to happen.
pretty calculating.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I want to say about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. But
Yeah.
let's get back to where, you know, some of the, let's get to, before we even get to where you and I see something and we look at it and we see something totally different. Okay. I mean, it got to the point, it got to the point during the pre-show that we're Rex and I are both legitimately staring at the same exact screen. And it's like that. Do you remember like years ago they had the picture of like the dress? Like, is it blue or is it gray or whatever the fucking
I remember the
thing,
story. Yeah.
whatever it was?
Yep.
It was like just that was happening because I see exactly what I see, and I don't have a narrative. See, and you want me to be honest? You
Sure.
want me to be? I think that you're being skewed by Crowder a little bit.
No, that's not the case.
Then I apologize, but I'm glad I got it off my chest. And I believe you.
Well, I mean, because again,
I mean that genuinely.
What I see is not something that he even pointed out. You know,
Would you humiliate me?
Sorry. And again, the way you said it makes sense too. So I'm not just discounting your claim either, because once you said it, I'm like, oh yeah, it could be that too. So
it's fucked up. Yeah.
What?
No, that's how fucked up it is that like we're both coming. If now, like I asked you, I asked you
the first time.
Well, you have kids. But anyway, let's bring it back up. So,
I'll take that the biblical way, I guess.
Let's just. I'm just gonna
move
right
on
through. I'm gonna plow right through. So,
yeah.
And like I said, we're gonna steer it back.
Yeah.
Bow side.
So,
No.
I was gonna say, do me a favor and just, if you can, lay out the facts that are indisputable.
Well, again, I didn't. You're not helping your case when I just watched Crowder have a blackboard and break down what's indisputable and what's not. So it's not helping your case by asking me to do that. Just so you know.
I'm just saying, even because I think even some of the facts that he had laid out can be disputed.
Yes, that was kind of my point.
My thing is like there's maybe 3 or 4 facts.
Well, ask me again.
Lay out the facts as you see them that are undisputable.
I have no fucking idea.
Okay. Well,
I know Charlie Kirk was sitting up. The only thing I feel like I really do have a grasp on is I feel like I have a very good grasp on what I saw. I watched the shot happen. So I can tell you I can describe exactly what my eyes saw. Now, Crowder said he saw it as well, and he had a little bit of a different take than I did. So,
right. Well, here's how I understand them. Number 1, Charlie Kirk is dead. We can definitively say that.
Yep, let's do it like that. Let's do a checklist.
There was one single gunshot heard.
I've heard people say that they didn't hear just one, but with that being said, yes, I believe that as well, and from what I heard, I believe that as well.
Okay. Tyler Robinson was on the roof.
Yes, without a doubt, in my opinion.
Keeping with him. he fled the scene and went somewhere.
Right, came off that roof. That footage of someone coming off the roof is him.
Right.
I
So
agree with that.
he left the roof after the shooting and went somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There was a single hole visible in Charlie Kirk's neck.
Yes, and I think that's a great way to describe it. It was a hole. It
Yeah.
wasn't a blast, if that makes any difference to you.
I don't even think it was fun at all.
You know what I mean? It wasn't. Okay, so go on.
Yeah, it was
It was a
fairly
hole.
concentric. It wasn't like
Like a motherfucker, bro. Like I think I described to you. It looked as if someone bored out, meaning listen to our show on Charlie Kirk's no, actually bored out a hole,
right.
and the how I saw it is it basically, like I said, if somebody was inside, Charlie, and took like the spout of a soda bottle and went and squeezed it, but it just had like the mouth part right
Yep.
perfectly around, like in the hole, but from the inside, and squeezed. That's
Right.
how I saw it, like a fountain. Pew.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now this is not a fact, but my opinion. Why I think that's not an exit wound, because some people are saying that it came through the back of the skull and maybe in his hairline, which is why you don't see it, a smaller caliber, and came out that way. It would, number one, it would have to be a very small caliber 22.
Do you remember what the lady
Even
said
like
live that day, Rexy, when we talked about the George Zinn thing? Remember I told you she yelled?
no.
She goes, it sounded like a 22, but I don't know. I mean, the same lady that's brought up the George Zinn thing that was
Right.
like live but not live. She
Right.
did say it sounded like a 22, but again,
Right. So the reason I don't believe it's an exit wound is that any of your copper jacketed hollow point, whatever, especially in a small caliber, if it's going to pass through ligaments and possibly the bone and many other things. And again, they say they found the bullet, but we don't have any conclusive facts of that. But it would be pushing out everything that was in front of that bullet out of that hole.
and let me give you some statistics really quick on what you just said.
Sure.
Okay, so let's say it was let's go with like a copper, was it copperhead bullet?
Copper jacket.
A copper jacket, right? 10 times out of 1,000, that injury would be consistent with the 30-06. If we're going to use 30-06, right?
Yep.
So if it was a copper jacket bullet, 10 times out of 1,000, it may be the anomaly, or the bullet does weird things, is what the odds are. Again, are they perfect odds? No, but this is based on statistics of ballistics, right?
Right. And there's a lot of variables there.
Which is I'm about to go into. There are a lot of variables there. But let's just get at least a baseline, okay? For a second. So then let's say it was okay. So let's say okay, let's say like a full metal jacket 30-06.
Yep.
Right? That 50,000 to 1.
Sure.
Of that. So is that consistent with the ballistics, how you look at it?
Well, when you say weird things happen, what are they contextualizing that as?
Well, look, that again, if you're using a full metal jacket, 50, you would see the anomaly of that you have seen yourself 1 out of 50,000 times.
I know, but what are you contextualizing as the anomaly?
That it ricochets a certain way, and better yet, ends up being what they're saying it is in Charlie Kirk. I should have to. I can't explain anymore. It's not what they're claiming happened to Charlie Kirk. If it was a full metal jacket, 30-06, it's 50,000 to 1 odds that it would be that way. If it was the other one that I said,
Yeah, the copper
right,
jacket.
it was 1 out of 10,000, something, whatever that anomaly is, would be. And then, so this is what I found interesting too, right? So, it said the odds of like a 30-06, right? And they're saying the downward angle was like 12 degrees or some
That
shit.
was another question I had. I didn't know what the angle was.
Yeah, it was 12 degrees. So it says not going through, the ballistic experts say that that for it to not go through, it's not possible. Out of 1,000 shots, 1 or 2 times, it can maybe exit somewhere else. Meaning that the results would be, again, in what they are saying happened to Charlie Kirk. So out of 1,000 shots, only 1 or 2 at the 12% angle at, what is it? 200 yards or whatever it was.
I think it was 160. There's the number.
Hard for me to look at my notes. That's why I'm trying.
Yeah.
But I'm giving those facts to. Go ahead.
Right. And again, I don't know what the comparison of 12 is. Obviously, it's like that. It's a pretty steep angle. And the hole was sort of at the base of his neck. So even if it were to go straight through, it'd probably end up somewhere in the shoulder, probably. I don't think it would be a direct pass through his neck. And I don't know exactly what ballistics material they're shooting through. Is there bone involved?
And then again, we're not going to know those answers until you get the autopsy.
For sure.
And
I was going to say some of the other variables is, we don't know if it's a reload, if it's old ammo, if it was a bad load. Sometimes, and matter of fact, I have a couple of bullets that show it. Once bullet is reloaded, a lot of times the actual cartridge itself, the neck of the cartridge, which is the part of the cartridge that holds the actual bullet itself, is not tight as it should be. There's a lot of
the grain of the bullet,
grain of the bullet,
and it says that 30-06 is typically 150 to 180 grain is what I looked up, and they said that it's like, for example, you showed. Well, let me get back to the one point that you had said, and this is what I found interesting, that like all of the things that these people are kind of really having an issue with, they have to take into consideration. This is why I liked one of the ballistic guys really got into this, that I was the ballistic expert was talking about, like it matters, like there's the permanent stretch cavity, and then he said there's this the temporary, the temporary, right? So he said like all those things matter,
right?
To you need the autopsy to figure that shit out, because that would help you definitely say like, oh, this could not have been a 30-06, or oh, this could have been, you know what I mean? Right. Yes, it could have been a fucking torpedo, and there could have been a miracle that happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, but my point is there needs to be some clarification, because there's a lot of things where, again, we just gave little simple facts that, and again, you're right, anything can happen.
Even the statement that the bullet was found under the skin, I don't know where in the body under the skin it was, unless somebody else has already Did you find that out, or?
Well, no. But if the bullet stayed in the body, it was because of a deflection, and you wouldn't expect to see. Oh, perfect. If that's what that was the point where he was making. He said if the bullet did stay in the body, it would have to be because of some sort of deflection off a bone or whatever, as we spoke about. He said, and this is where Crowder was wrong. He said and I think he knew this, and I think, I shouldn't say that because he doesn't have the agenda. Either way, you would see his chest cavity expand for the moment. Right? Now,
Maybe.
No, you would have to. The ballistic expert was saying because it's passing through the flesh, which is mostly water. It's as it goes in. If it deflects, it's going to stretch. So even if for a moment you would have saw something with his chest.
Maybe.
Okay. Again, I'm just going with their statistics.
Sure. No, I'm not disputing what you're saying. I'm not fully convinced. We're talking about a tiny piece of metal. It's not like a bowling ball passing through somebody.
It has nothing to do with the size of the object. It has to do with the velocity of it coming through and going through water, which is what your flesh is made of.
Sure.
It's going through water. That is going to, it's science. There's going to have to be an expansion. No matter what, there has to be an expansion. We have still videos of it. So we could see if there's some expansion. A hunter looking through a scope can't say,
sure.
Oh, I saw their expansion. We have it on video.
Mm-hmm.
So either there was expansion or there wasn't. And I'm okay with either one, but it will help solve the problem.
Right. Again, I was thinking about the 12 degrees. Again, if it entered here, and I'm just thinking about this in real time. If it entered here and it went through and say hit like the scapular or even an arm bone or something like that, and then directed down into the body. Again, that bullet could travel, into his leg. I mean, it could go for a while, and never come out. And again, losing momentum as it hits other things.
Right. And remember what you just said. You're 100% right. And if it's a full metal, it's 1 out of 50,000. And if it was a copperhead, it's 1 out of 10,000 or 2 out of 10,000 or whatever the stats I gave you. So again, yes.
But again, right. You're not defining the anomaly. Is it hits a bone directly and stops? Is it ricochets off of a bone, splits into 1,000 pieces and never comes out? Because more than likely,
it can go. It would go through a bone. It would. The statistics they're saying, as it applies to Charlie Kirk and his situation, I guess his body, the way it was, all of that. The statistics show that this amount of times out of this amount of times, that would be the case. With that being said, those statistics could be a little off. Let's grant them a little off.
Right, because they don't have 1,000 of that angle, that neck, that in the front of the neck, the back of the neck, hit the shoulder. Did it mushroom? Did it fracture? I just don't know what they are defining as an anomaly. And you said, what happened to Charlie Kirk? We don't know what happened to Charlie Kirk. So I don't know exactly what their definitions are. Again, I'm not imparting anything on you. But.
Okay, the clavicle, right? The clavicle. So what I was led to believe, the closest thing to a clavicle, a human clavicle, right?
Yeah.
Sounds dumb, but is like an alligator's, I think, leg or something like that, is femur bone. Okay. If you look that up, you'll see that I'm not fucking around with you, right?
Yep.
So human bone, human clavicle, closest would be like an alligator's femur. Same type of, that's what I was told.
Okay.
So, and you can apply those stats to it shooting through that and passing right through.
Right. But is there any stats of clipping the vertebrae and then riding along the scapula and then going down into the guts? You know what I mean? There's just a lot of variables that we just don't know.
Right,
And
which
to
is
paint
allowing
it as a broad brush, 1 in 10,000. I don't know.
Well, that's the difference between, it's not somebody just guessing. They're taking a bunch of information of all the different tests that they do have and trying to apply it. So that's why they're giving you. Listen, if the stat was 1 out of 4, then I would be more apt to be like, you know what? It can happen. But it came down to, when I looked it up, it came down to it being 99.9% of the official FBI story, meaning the bullet,
Yeah.
that it's exactly how they're saying it is.
You're going to have to explain it to me. I don't really understand what you said.
So they're saying that 99%, if we used the ballistics and the angle and the exit wound, the picture of a chest or not chest, depending on whatever, how you view, they're saying like the percentage is like 99.9% that all of those things taken into consideration, that it wouldn't be what their scenario is saying. So it is giving you an out, meaning not you. It could happen. It's very plausible that it could have ricocheted around everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's very hard to believe when you have so many ballistic experts saying that, sure, every one of them say that, yes, it is possible. It is definitely possible. Because bullets do weird things.
Bullets do weird things, and there's 1,000 different variables just in ammo alone that can change things dramatically.
Without a doubt. But we're using the variables that they gave us.
Who?
The human being that got shot.
Okay.
The bullet that they have. The gun that was used. That stuff.
But we don't know what bullet he used. At least I don't. I don't know if it's an FMJ or a copper or a hollow point or anything.
Right. Again, I think, but we're still dealing with, at that point, remember, 1 out of 50,000, 1 out of 10,000.
Again, those numbers mean nothing to me because they're not taking in the variables.
They are.
Okay, so if it's a fucking half load, how does that work into a 1 in a 10,000?
Well, again, let's just say, let's say, like a 308 is like packed in real tight as opposed to like a 30-aught.
I'm just saying, what if it had half the gunpowder? What if all the gunpowder didn't fire? What if the neck of the bullet was cracked? What if the fucking bullet was cracked? What if the fucking primer didn't fully extract? There's just a lot of variables that we don't know.
Okay, Rex, that is a terrible position. When you start saying things, again, yes, but you are creating so much more. Like it's more of a conspiracy, I think, of like adding all the, yes.
Because we don't know.
Again, if you just simply saying we don't know, you're 100% right. We don't know. But when you try to get some clarity, taking the variables into consideration that we can, these are the conclusions that we come up with. We can also say a squirrel could have been crawling across his leg as he took the shot.
All right. Well,
no. See, but that's exactly how bro. That's exactly part of one of the half-packed. It didn't go off. All of those things are very valid that you said. I don't disagree with any of them. But then so is a squirrel running across his leg.
Well, that would
we can put in a million different variables to deal with for everything. We're at this point, we are trying to get an educated guess.
right. But the people who are saying, again, the most likely outcome is that Tyler Robinson shot a 30 fucking odd 6 from the roof and hit Charlie Kirk in the neck. So
Agreed.
if you're going to be like, there's a 1 in 10,000 chance that it was Tyler Robinson on top of the roof with a 30 odd 6 and hit him in the neck, well, then what are we doing?
Nothing. Who said that?
My point is
fake news. Rex, fake news.
My point is that
you're rattled right now.
No, I'm not.
You are.
You're fucking arguing with me, and we both agree that Tyler fucking Robinson on top of a fucking roof shot a 30 fucking odd 6 into his neck, and you're like, it's 1 in 10,000 that it's possible that it happened.
The bullet. I'm gonna say it again. Everything you said is fake news that I said. I did not say that.
Okay, what did you say?
You fake newsed it. You CNN, Rexy DMC. Listen, I'm going to say it again. The bullet that was used by the official story that was shot at the gun, from the gun, from the official story, is highly unlikely to leave the wound and the scene that it left. With that being said, we've both come to the conclusion that it is plausible. Anything could happen. But we do have some guidance and some expertise that if we are being told what we're being told and we're using those facts to base it on, here's what experts are saying. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not debating the guy who shot. I'm not debating the guy who got shot. I'm not debating even the gun that it was shot from. I'm saying that when it comes to the bullet that I think we're being told and the gun that is being fired and the wound that I saw, all those things, that doesn't add up, is what I'm trying to tell you. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not telling you I don't agree with, we both think it's the simplest thing. This. I think the FBI has dropped the ball. I don't think it was a 30-06.
You know?
No. Well, again, if I go by what the knowledge that I've tried to find through different ballistic experts to make sure, and from my co-host that, I consider, I don't want to say gun expert, but know your shit about that. No, but you know your shit about that. So with all those things taken into consideration, and everything is perfect. You say, yes, it's very plausible that something can happen, that it could be a 30-06 and these things, and it works. And I go, okay, that's possible. And there's your 2 out of 10,000 or your 1 out of 10,000. I'm saying that. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm trying to make the point of, I think from what I've heard, that narrative doesn't make sense unless it is the anomaly or the not norm, which, yes, we do find that happen with bullets. I get that. You understand what I'm saying? I get it. I don't know why, first of all, I like the fact that you're yelling and you get all fucking flustered and the fucking mic got shot up and I called you out on it. It was fun. But, that's just that's how I feel.
Yeah. I guess my argument is that most of these other will I don't want to call them out. So many of these
bullshit. Call them out.
No. Some of these people on YouTube, I don't think that their motive is honest. I don't think that their motive is technically trying to solve or explain in truth what they think happened. I
Well,
think a lot of it is uh, promoting either conspiracies or what ifs, or maybe this is possible, or you can't trust
definitely,
that guy because they're going after clicks rather than trying to find the actual truth or
without
present it
a
as
doubt,
such.
without a doubt. And I mean, even with um, and that goes from Alex Jones to Crowder
Yep.
to Valhalla
Yep.
to um, pick whatever, anybody else you want to go to. But when you go
Guns go
to
bang bang.
no, who the hell is Guns or Bang Bang?
I just made one up.
Well, it's funny because one of the good ballistic experts that I sourced was it was something like Guns Are Sling or something. Anyway,
Hmm.
I'll send you the thing. But anyway, like I've seen non-experts say listen, I've no law enforcement, blah, 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 blah. I'm just a gun shooter. And they recreate a shot from 200 yards. Again, means nothing because the ballistics aren't right. But I've also seen guys with the gel dummies. I've seen guys with certain bones, certain protective plates. And there's a lot of different things that are happening, right?
Mhm.
Um, but we have a test subject that we're looking at that we saw the end result,
Yep.
and the end result doesn't match up most of the time with how the norm usually is.
So let me ask you a question because I'm curious. What are some of the other explanations that these people are putting out? What they think happened?
I don't think that I've heard anybody. I've heard a lot of different explanations. None to me have make any sense. Any sense. Um so again, which makes me feel good because it just shows you how genuine I am as far as I don't not believe what if you told me tomorrow it's in the books, that's what happened. I go, there you go, look at this. It's an anomaly. I'm a Christian. Oh, I would be okay with you telling me it's a miracle. I would accept it. Like and it would be plausible for me because it is these are there are legitimate outs where but if you told me that for some reason it was something else and this is why whoever an outside agency, you know what I'm saying, is involved, or if there is some conspiracy, I would go, well, fuck yeah. Makes a lot of sense because even ballistically, it really doesn't add up. Could it add up? Yep, sure could, but it really doesn't.
All
It
right.
could.
So let's move on to some other of the other things that are being thrown out there,
Okay.
like the assembly and the disassembly of the gun. What do you have on that?
I don't have too much because I never heard an official um, answer, or I've never heard an official word if it was ever assembled or disassembled
Yeah.
on the roof. I can't. So what is the narrative on that? I don't know.
Well, I heard, I don't remember where I heard it from, but somebody had said
The
well there
unofficial official.
right.
Give me the unofficial
Well,
official.
there's a couple of things where it was uh disassembled, the stock was put in his backpack, and then the actual barrel was in his pants.
On the roof after the shot?
No, on the way to
Okay.
the roof. You can see him kind of limping along in that one video from TMZ.
The one video, clear as a fucking bell, he's limping.
Yeah,
Clear as a bell.
right. Um, so I it makes sense to me that that's probably the case. The
So
people
that's
who
disassembled at that point, or he's got the full gun at that point.
no, it wouldn't be a full gun. You couldn't put that in your pants. It's
I thought that was a full gun. That's why the limp was.
no, it's about 44 inches.
That's
Well,
what I heard. 44
here,
inches.
I have a couple of my rifles here that we'll look at.
All right, stick. Make sure you load one up and stick them down inside of your pants,
Okay.
please.
Well, then it's just going to shoot the floor.
All right, you never know. You know. Do you know why they call it a shotgun wedding? Oh no, was that it? Yeah.
I don't.
No, wait. It's something to do with. That's wrong, but there's something to do with like a shotgun and hitting the testicle, and there's something weird. There's like a saying to do with that. We'll talk about that later. No, I'm serious.
No, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I just have
Okay.
no idea what the fuck you're talking
Okay,
about.
but I feel like because like not half cocked, something going off half cocked. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, I mean,
No?
you can half cock a gun, so I assume it has
No,
to do
but
with that.
no, something like yeah, and then like oh, he went off half cocked. I don't know. We'll dig into that, but let's focus. Go.
Yeah. So anyway, I brought two. This is
I'm so happy you got it. Yo, Jen, I'm so happy he got fucking annoyed and he knocked his fucking microphone over in anger. He deserved it. He's got to slow himself fucking down. I don't like the way he talks to us.
well, what kind of fun is that? All right. So this is a British.
Just like I ain't saying shit, man's holding a gun in his hand.
This is a British 303. It's from World War II. Again, I don't have a 30-06 to show completely, but basically what we're talking about is the function from here to here. So this would be the part that would be disassembled from the gun
Okay.
that would be in his pants. This one is it has a single flathead screwdriver slot here for one disassemble point, and then it has a roll pin, or this looks like a flathead too. So this one would be a little bit more of a bit more of a challenge to take apart. But anyway, so from here to here, that's in the pants. From here to here would be in the backpack.
I mean, can't we just pull up the specs on the Mauser or whatever the fuck it was? What was it? A Hauser, a Mauser, or a fucking Schnauzer?
But again,
we have a fucking dog with him. He let his Schnauzer loose and he bit Charlie Kirk.
Well, again, that's fine. We can do that too, but it's not as much fun as holding the guns. So, and then the scope mount would be here. The claims that they're making that the scope was taken off, I find that really hard to believe. There's no way in the world you're going to disassemble a scope off of a gun and put it back on and have any fucking accuracy at all. So I don't believe that's the case.
Well, may I say something about that real quick? Just on that point.
Yep.
One of the things that that I was watching, he purposely he zeroed out, I believe is the terminology.
Yeah.
His scope, and that means what? That it angled in. I mean that it was on. Is that what it means by zeroing out? Does that mean?
Well, zeroing a scope means to. It's basically something that you do like before you go shoot. Is
for you? It's to help accuracy.
Right. It's you're using the actual crosshair at 100 yards, and you're hitting the scope. So, or you're hitting the bullseye. So obviously, farther and farther away, the higher and higher your cross comes, because your bullet starts to drop the farther and farther you go out. So typically, if you're looking at a scope, especially a good one, you'll actually have like hash marks underneath the actual cross eye, the crosshair, and it'll tell you, or by feel, okay, if I'm at 200 yards, I got to use this small hash. If I'm at 400 or whatever, you have to keep dropping it down.
So he did. He zeroed out, and you explain what that means, and then he also did whatever it would be that he was saying, like how if you had to, like if it was disassembled, and you just had to pop it on, you know what I mean, like quick, and it wasn't zeroed out, that the shot still could be made.
Well, I'm telling you,
hard,
if you take a scope off of a gun and put it back on, there's no way it's zeroed out.
No, right. It's not
Yeah.
zeroed out. And like you could still though, you could still make that shot, or it may explain why if he was wearing body armor, it was maybe he was going for a headshot and it hit the armor and came up,
Right. I mean,
Um
because like um matter of fact, if I were to go out to Montana with my gun, and I left here with it zeroed out and I got to Montana, I would have to zero it again
oh
because it
sure.
would probably be off.
Sure.
Just again, tolerance in the screws and the
Yeah.
mounting bolts and the shake and whatever.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
perfect sense.
Now again, it's a 160-yard shot. It's not a fucking 500-yard shot.
Right.
You can be a little off. And again, like a lot of people have pointed out, if he was aiming at center mass and he hit the neck, that could also account for but more than like, there's no reason to take the scope off. If you're talking about at least two screws, maybe four. And if you've already committed to, I'm going to put the stock in my bag and the barrel in my pants. I don't see a reason to also take the scope off. But one of the claims that I had saw recently is that, there was, they say they found the screwdriver on the roof, and that gun doesn't even use the screwdriver to take it apart. Now, I did look up a Mauser, and it does take a screwdriver. And a matter of fact, it's 3 bolts. And again, this is not a 30
Oh,
out.
so you know the specs.
Yeah. As far as
Mhm.
as far as taking it apart, this is a 30-30. It's an old one. But the
I got a
mounting,
knife.
the mountings or the takedown is still the same. There's a screw up here, and then there's 2 screws around the trigger guard. These 3 screws will take it off. This whole barrel and the trigger comes out. Stock goes in the bag. The barrel goes in the pants. So
So easily done within no time.
yeah, you could take it. I mean, again, I don't think he put it back to. I don't think he took it back apart after the shot.
Hmm.
I don't think he'd have the wherewithal to do that.
So, so he got up. Okay, so he got up on the roof.
Yeah.
With it apart, not the scope. But we've already established that even if he did, fine. He put the scope back on, 160 yards. He could have got lucky, got the shot off. So
Yeah, and I'm not
that's all
even.
okay.
I don't even know if there's evidence that he brought the gun up and stayed up there. You know what I mean? He could have brought it up, hit it, come back down, because
Oh.
again, there was a change of clothes, and I don't know one way or the other.
Well,
So
okay. So we're at though that gun was brought up in pieces, either assembled, put there, left there. He left, came back to a full assembled gun.
yeah,
Didn't disassemble the gun immediately after the shot.
yeah, I don't see a real, again, plausible reason to do that.
Were we told that?
No, but again, we'll go to that picture that you and I were discussing. If he did disassemble it, or I'm sorry, if he did jump off the roof and there was no view of a long gun, he would have had to have disassembled it. So it's, yeah, we're gonna pull up that one picture that you and I have had a discussion about.
You know what? You know what?
But
That's the same picture, huh?
yeah,
Now I see. Well, it's a little weird to me because now, if I was going, okay, so you saying the gun is in his left hand,
yeah,
almost like leaning on the roof?
yeah. Yeah, can
Okay.
we zoom in a little bit on that? All right.
Wow. Now I can. See, now I don't see the arm like I thought I did, flailing off. I almost see now exactly what you're saying. It's almost like if there's like a gutter, and
Yeah, and the stock of the gun is in the gutter.
yeah, and then but what's that like little airplane tail shadow?
That's his propeller on his hat.
Well, it was either that or there's no gun and he's wearing a jester's cap. No, because it does look like a jester's cap.
He's the fucking Jetson boy. Yeah, and I think we might actually have the video. Maybe.
Where the fuck's the bag though and shit?
Well, again, you mean his backpack or the towel around the gun?
The backpack. I mean, he could have. Well, I got to see the video because again,
you have to go to presentation first.
You know what? No, just stay like this. This is perfect.
Don't.
Way to humiliate me and have a wide shot. I didn't make mine.
All right, so click on presentation.
Who, me? I'm kidding.
There we go. And then window. Okay, I'm just trying to help you out. You're doing great, kid.
Yo, yeah, he believe me, he doesn't have the gun in his hand. Tell him how you really feel now.
So anyway, yeah, I don't think he disassembled the gun afterwards. Again, the mindset, and you'd be shaken like a fucking leaf. It would take a lot longer, even by a professional, longer than I think it said like 6 seconds or something like that it would have taken in order to do that. So yeah, I don't think that happened. So all right, so he, I believe, kept the gun assembled, and then jumped off the roof. And again, it's even amazing that he didn't have any injuries jumping off that roof. That was like 12 feet.
I mean, yo, like I fell off the roof 16 feet and fucked myself bad.
Right.
Like almost fucking paralyzed, like in wheelchair, like type shit. Like, so, yeah, like what the fuck? Conspiracy. I mean, you can clearly see.
Right, yeah, this is from Crowder.
Flip the mattress out. You put the mattress right underneath him.
Yeah, to me, it's that whole.
I see nothing, by the way.
Oh wait, can we? Yeah, just.
You're not sharing it with the
just
Rumble
pause
family.
that and then go back over to.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, just hang on a second, Butts.
Okay, I just need it to be acknowledged, so you know. I don't even know if I'm on.
All right, honey, go back to the call. Yeah, and then find the window that's playing. There you go. Then you see it now, Footer?
Yep.
Oh, wait, that's just the. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. You can ride. Right. You can ride.
This is from Crowder, just so we know. So you'll hear Crowder's mug talking here in a minute. Well, not that we need the audio. We can actually mute the audio.
All right. So
you drop something into the gutter.
Yeah. Can you ride that? Can you ride the whatchamacallit, please?
Better than anybody.
Yeah. Jen, do me a favor. Ride the cursor.
The play thing going back and forth, and just kind of move it slowly if you can. So right there.
Well, go back into what's the first frame, just so I want to get context.
Okay, right here.
Is that the first frame?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so at this point, he's basically setting up to brace himself to get down. So
he's
I'm trying to think of
back to the grass, right?
Yeah, right. Ass, almost ass out.
Ass to grass.
Okay.
I think is a technical term. All right. So, yeah, keep going. Now he would set down the towel and the gun.
Okay. I'm still okay. I mean, he seems like awfully close to the edge.
I agree with that.
To be ass. So I think I think he's actually ass to the trees. And now he's making the yes,
Okay,
because now he's
yeah,
making
you're
the
right. You're
turn.
right. You're right.
So he's putting down. Let's look again what he puts down
Yeah,
real
could you
quick
put
as he
that
makes
up?
the. And guys, can you know what? Just pause. I'm sorry to put podcast. I might have an incident right now. What the fuck's going on outside? Hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry.
I think he's getting swatted. Na, 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 na. I told him he should have fucking just.
Building a fucking penthouse.
What the fuck is going on over there, Vinny?
Well, I mean, you gotta be. I'm trying to do a fucking show, and it sounds like a fucking. I'm in the middle of. I'm doing a construction site,
I can't even hear anything.
but it's fucking annoying. I'm trying to concentrate.
I understand.
Okay, so I think we've established that we're
All right. So
gonna,
yeah, he's
ask the trees.
he's facing out. All right.
So now he does put again. That's awfully small that he lays. Let's consider into that shadow gutter, right? You know the shadow gutter. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Okay, like right there. Look how flippity floppy that is.
But something, gravity would be pulling whatever that is down.
Can we zoom in at all a little bit on that?
I don't think so.
Use your fingertips on the screen.
Well, it's not a touch.
I know.
Screen. Settle down. All right.
Yeah, that's one fucking hell of a landing.
Yeah.
All right. Can you run through that with me again?
Yep.
Okay. Go. Actually, go back to from the beginning because I want to watch the walkover.
Yeah. Okay.
Stop. Yeah, just let me. I just kind of want to see some stuff here as it's happening. Can you turn the sun on? All right. So he's clearly two-handedly. Okay, so he's coming. Okay, hold on. So he's coming in. So he's going to turn to his right and completely turn. So he turns to his right, ass to the trees, and he's going to place something down with two hands. No, is that one hand or two that he placed it with? Because it matters. It's almost like he threw it down. That Rexy, how is there a fucking? Look at that. That's almost a Look, that's a what do you call it? Like a 90-degree angle there. That's flop.
Well, again, it's a towel draped over. It's not like it's a gun case.
Okay, so let's do this. How long? You're saying 44 inches. Is it possible that? Let's look at that length right at that 90-degree angle and try to match that up.
To like his leg or something. Okay, right there.
Stop right there.
Stop.
Perfect. Okay. I'll tell you, let's use the window. Or fine, let's use it because we start with the window and then we use the grate by the window, or unless you see something easier.
Let's use his leg.
Okay. It looks to be the truth, a half of leg.
Half a leg. Come on.
What do you see?
From left flop to like say it. I would say it's either at his knee or behind his leg to the other side, right?
All right, do me a favor. Can you if because I know you're good. Can you exactly start it like again a little bit back so I can actually watch the. Because I want to watch the flop. Okay.
Right there.
I mean, no. Right
again,
there.
what?
Dude, that's not long enough to be a fucking 44-inch. Is it?
Again, if it is a single hand dropping it down, what's elevating the other side? Because his other hand is let go of whatever it is. His left hand right there.
How heavy is the gun? Is it where
75 pounds?
Fucking liar. My point, like, could his hand, like, you know what I mean? can you like, if you're trying to hold a gallon of milk out in front of you type of deal? Like could
Yeah, I mean you have balance. You know what I mean?
no,
Well,
I understand.
let's just see. We'll use this. Can we come back to me?
Rex, do me a favor. Get on your roof. Get onto your fucking roof. Okay, so
All right. So you're asking if somebody could easily hold out a gun like this?
right. But now you got to,
Um,
and now you
yeah,
got to take
I
into
could probably hold it.
consideration you're sitting down, so you're being a little unfair because you got
No,
your core.
I was curious if you could.
Okay.
You'd
have
again,
to
it depends on where
stand.
if you're here, you could for sure. You could hold that for a while, and
And
again,
now let me see what you got because I can't see the whole screen. So, oh my! But look how much you got left.
well, that's what I said. If from here you could, if you're from like here, it would be tough. It would be tough. But I mean, again, if you're holding it down,
But no, we know he had flop in between, so we know it was at least at the handle.
um,
What are you in the fucking color guard? Jesus.
yeah, I mean, if you're holding again, it depends on where he's actually grasping it. If he's here,
I mean, because we need to take that in consideration. It all really stems on you right now because you got it, and we don't know how heavy his is compared to yours. Whoa!
right? That one, I mean, again, this one's probably lighter. This one would probably be easier. Yeah, this one's definitely easier.
Okay, I would assume his older that old fucking thing has got to be a ton.
Right, and that it's a World War II gun, I believe, right?
I mean, you
Or was
took
it
your.
World War One?
I think World War I. Regardless, it's a very old gun. It's going to be a lot heavier than.
Well, this is a World War II gun.
Meaning the light one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and again, oftentimes, they did try to make infantry rifles as light as they could.
Yeah, but the technology alone, I don't think that they and it doesn't matter. But let's not get off into that. But
right.
but let's focus.
We also have to consideration it had a scope on it, which adds weight to it as well.
Right. So, I mean, that's a fucking tough. All right, let's bring it. I mean, let's go back to the video because again. So what do you want to? Let's establish something, an unsure something. Have we established between you holding it and trying to balance it, seeing that 90-degree angle? We really do need to get some sort of scale for.
Again with the fat jokes.
I knew you were going to go there. We need scale for that 90-degree, like the one before that. You know what I mean? We need that scale to see.
Well, I mean, here's a couple of just because we can't see. We do know that as soon as those shots was fired, he fucking left. He ran in a panic, had something in his hand, and felt the need to jump off of a roof. You know what I mean?
Well, so what the fuck was his other options?
Well, he could have gone down.
Fucking turn into a fucking pixie.
Well, he could have gone down the stairs that he came up.
Do you know he came upstairs?
Well, yeah, we have the video of him walking upstairs, and we know he didn't jump off the fucking lawn onto the roof, so he obviously got up there somehow.
Well, I'll tell you the way he takes the fucking jump down. I wouldn't be surprised he could jump up on it.
But my point is he's obviously in a panic. The shot had just rang out.
Okay, so at this point, we're saying he flopped the gun. He then swung his legs around, right, and down. Right. Okay, so now there's the gun being taken, or the bag. Let's assume the gun for
with his right hand,
right, and now he's free fall. Is he free hanging with one left hand?
It almost looks like there's like some kind of a ledge on top of that window. You see where his leg? It looks like he's stepping on something.
Yeah,
right
it
there.
does. That would make a hell of a lot more sense.
Yeah, because then now you're at like 8 feet, which is still going to give you the ouchies. But
how the fuck did we just notice that?
Because we're just that good.
No. I think we're no. You know what? We're not being fair. We're freeze framing it there, so of course we can assume it be a ledge.
Yeah,
Is
because
there any
you can
pause?
definitely see his foot sort of move
You know what? It
right
does
there.
kind of stop. Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with that is a ledge, Rex.
it's allegedly a ledge.
I like it.
It's an alleged ledge.
That's a fuck. You know what? And that's gonna explain the fucking smooth ass fall. All right, so there's. Oh, without a doubt, because he's Okay, pause for a minute. All right, so okay, without again, this is why I'm terrible because like I feel without a doubt that it's definitely a ledge because that even allowed him to take off some of the weight that would have normally like pulled him off that roof fast.
Right. Yeah, this is funny. He takes all this thing, he ends up jumping off and leaving the gun in the gutter.
Yeah, that would be no, that would no, that's yeah, that would be me.
Oh fuck! Now how am I gonna? Can I just spray a hose in there and hopefully it comes down the gutter?
Yeah, for real. Okay, see, but goddamn, the landing's even smooth as fuck. But you know what? That takes a good 2 feet away. You know, so now we're looking at a
Yeah, at least. I mean, okay, let's say he's 6 foot tall. Just say. I mean, that's 4 feet at least.
Good call.
At least.
Yeah, that okay. I'm sold on the ledge. So that will explain a little bit of Okay, I feel like I have a really clear picture now of what I'm seeing where I didn't before.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
like I see a I feel like
Can we just back to the beginning of that? Just and just you can just stop it. I want to. All right, so I'm trying to see where in proximity the amphitheater was where Kirk was at. Is it on the opposite side of the building? It must be because parking's out here. Am I making sense? Footer?
I don't know. Again, but I've seen the diagram 1,000 fucking times.
Right. Okay. I was just curious. There is no parapet, it doesn't look like either, which is something that I was talking about earlier with you. It looks like a relatively flat roof. All right, so we can go back to me and Footer if you want.
No, again, yeah, I really don't. Okay. All right. Well, that I actually feel good right now about that ledge. It means nothing to the case, but God, it really was like I just wasn't making sense how fucking he took that fucking fall like that.
Yeah.
No problem. And he clearly had that weird ass walk on the way. Again, man, besides for okay.
And
well,
speaking of the weird ass walk, that's not a consistent thing because we also see him walking back in the other clothes and he doesn't have that. So it's not like
at what time though? Meaning,
well,
like
the first video when he's walking,
that's when he's walking to the venue, correct?
right?
And he has the gun in the pants. You can see it.
I'd have to recheck the timeline because
I think it was 11. It was like 11. It was 11:08. And the ring cam had the weird walk.
Right, but I think they had him earlier too. Maybe when he was just scoping things out or something like that.
I've never seen the shorts video. I don't think.
What's that, Jen? Yeah, it was like 8 something in the morning when I think he was doing recon or something.
And that was the shorts video.
Yeah, he had a shorts and all.
All right, makes perfect sense. Casual wakes up. Let me stroll by. Just take a little peek. See what's going to go on for the big day.
Right.
You know, goes home, showers up.
I don't think he went home. He was like 3 hours away.
Blows his girlfriend. changes, right?
Yeah.
Then heads back with his jeans on. Got his. Again, you're saying it wasn't the full gun.
Yeah, I
To
don't
me, it looks like it
think,
was a full ass gun, but just the scope, if anything, wasn't on there. Because how do you fit the scope and the gun in a pair of fucking? What do you know? What are you going to a rave the night before? You were, I mean, like wearing your Jenkos.
Yeah. So all right, so there was that. The other thing that I've heard talked about is the sound wasn't loud enough for it to be a 30-aught. Now again, I've said to you I'm fairly confident the sound was a rifle. Because there's some people saying that it was, that's an exit hole and it was a pistol and
One has. Forget the exit hole. Forget that. Focus on because it. You can. I don't want to conflate the two.
right.
Let's focus on the acoustics of the sound. We've already dealt with the wound.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's forget
I'm
about
just
what.
saying that some people are saying it's a handgun because of. So there is a distinct sound difference between a handgun and a rifle. Um, and again, I'm just going to do it as best I can. When you hear a handgun, it's pop, 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 pop. It's a single sound.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear a rifle, it's a
Mm-hmm.
there's a reverberance to it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I definitely heard the second one.
and yeah, you can hear that in that. You can hear it in the Trump video. It's a so I think we can eliminate the handgun, at least as far as the sound. Again, you could.
I'm okay with that.
Whatever.
Yep.
But a lot of people are saying that it wasn't loud enough to be a 30-aught. Now, I would agree, in probably most cases, if you were on a gun range or hunting or around a gun, it certainly wouldn't be. Now, this could be a twofold scenario. If it was a half load or something that where the bullet wasn't as properly powered, that could be the
Can I
case.
stop you
But
for again? Because forget. Let's say, let's say it was a whatever the normal bullet.
okay, fine.
You understand what I'm saying? Stop putting other variables into things.
Well, again, I just don't want somebody to say, well, it was because I'm just saying there's a lot of reasons that
Well, you're
the
talking to
sound
me.
couldn't
Don't
have
worry
been
about
loud.
it. Okay,
Um,
and I'm with you on that. So, where were you before you?
all right. Sound.
Okay,
Why it
so
wasn't as loud.
the pop, 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 right, and then the. Okay, we got that. So
Yeah.
I agree 100%. So the problem, or I think one of the conspiracies would be. Well, do you want to? Before I get there, do you want to get to the point of anything more with the sound of as
Why it
far as
wasn't so loud, in my opinion.
right? Okay.
Right. All right. So, a couple things about sound. Obviously, it's your proximity to the source of the sound, and sound typically travels up and out. Uh, which is why the original amphitheaters in Greece and concert venues, the source of the sound is low. Everybody else is up and higher and spreads out. Obviously, early on, there was no amplification, so they had to try to send sound as far and wide as they can. So they had to take the characteristics of sounds and sound waves, so it goes up and out. So
right. And my point to you with that was that if that would make sense to me to put into the equation if the shot was taken where Charlie Kirk was up into the and Charlie Kirk was sitting on the roof. Because
right,
that would make sense to me
if
where
the
you would be able
entire
to
audience was up on the roof listening to him and they would have taken a shot, it would have sounded like a train coming. It would be very loud because you're absorbing the effects of the sound So you would notice it a whole lot more from that. Now he's also on the roof, so the building, and some of the sound is going behind him, some of it's going into the roof. You're only getting a small sort of clamshell of the actual sound being broadcast in front of the gun.
So it should sound lower. It should sound not as loud then.
Right. It shouldn't have it,
Muted,
it should be more
suppressed,
muted.
if I may be so bold.
Sure. And again, the sound is not going to naturally travel down down into the crowd as loudly as it would up into the air. So to me, it does make sense that the sound from the crowd is not going to sound as loud as it should.
So, okay, so that would be saying it could most certainly be a 30-06.
I would say.
And the sound that we hear not reflect that.
Right. And I don't even think that there was a lot, even in front of the gun, to echo, and probably a lot of that stuff is absorbing sound too.
Without a doubt, the people's bodies alone are
Right.
absorbing them.
Right. So, yeah, our daughter obviously just noticed that we're going live because she just wrote in chat, which is fucking hilarious.
Yo, what the fuck going on? Hey.
Yeah, she's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, she is.
Why are you guys doing a show without me?
Yeah, and why am I standing in front of the school by myself waiting for you to get me?
Yeah. Oops a daisy. So that I think sort of makes sense.
That's plausible.
So the other thing, again, is there? You said you wanted to say something.
It was on. We were talking about the sound. No, I think I said it. No, I said. No, I had said it. It was more of the that it would be when you were pointing out the acoustics of the amphitheater. Yeah, I wanted to just make sure that I was understanding that you were saying that would, if anything, suppress it. So I agree with you there. Before I thought you were trying to say that it would be louder, or you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
So, what were your thoughts on the text of the text messages?
Again, so weird and tough to distinguish when you're trying to be objective. And that's the thing, is what's going to be amazing. The loudest mouths and the most shit we're going to hear on chat, on comments, are going to be that we're two old fools that are towing the party line, like we're believing the narrative, where we've just laid out for over 2 hours how it's not that we're believing the narrative or not believing the narrative. Is that fair still?
Right. I think we're just sort of giving reason why some of the narrative may have some truth in it.
Correct. Okay. And we haven't even gotten to, and may not get to, even a fucking motive. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what I think is weird about the text are that, depending on your agenda, or depending on, I should say, what you're married to. If you're going to be married to something,
I'm married to a wonderful woman.
Yep, you sure are. If you're going to be married to the idea of it being a conspiracy, you're going to definitely see there are some weird ass shit in that text messages.
For sure.
If you don't, and you don't want to, if you're married to the legitimacy of these texts, then you know what? You could easily justify that, of them being these two young beta ass collegey freaking, you
Hot.
know, you know, just these. They would talk that way. Like I
Right.
can see them like that. Like I can see him being like, you know, you know. I did it for you, my love. You
Mm.
know, I can easily see them talking that way. Um, almost like in a hipster type of, retro way.
Right.
Yeah,
Renaissance festival sort of thing.
right, but not even right, but they're not trying to be that hokey. They like that's the norm for them. Like they think that's cool.
Yeah.
Like the hipster wearing the handlebar mustache.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's the norm.
Sure. And I mean, the possibilities I understand it is that either A, they're a lot weirder than we think, and this is how they actually talk. B, these were contrived by the parties involved to exonerate or absolve the roommate of having any sort of connection to it. Or C, the feds or the CIA or the Jews came up with these messages.
Let's just say an agency,
Yeah,
an outside agency.
right. Came up with these messages and used chat GPT to come up with, instead of picking people in their 20s, they pick people from the 20s.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that.
so those are all possibilities. Um, to me, the one that makes the most sense is it's contrived by the parties involved to exonerate and absolve the roommate from having any involvement.
And let me ask you this: is this the parties involved? Are we talking like a Discord group type of thing, maybe, or
Yeah,
something of that nature?
whoever was involved in the text, I think it was just him and her, him, and the hymns.
But
Uh,
no, okay, but it was him and her. But well, anyway, it was, for argument's sake, it was him and her. The text was too. But I'm saying, um, I mean, do you believe that it was like a spur of the moment thing that he decided to do, like he said in the text, or or I think it's even more plausible that um he is some sort of a not plant, but I think he might be part of like a bigger like a like a group of not Antifa, but like a far left or far right, depending on however it fits the narrative.
I mean, it could be a group of just a dozen
Like
LGBT
4chan
guys
guys,
that are
like
that.
4chan guys or something or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be a group of a bunch of people, and I would be agreed. I would be inclined to believe that there's going to be more people that are involved in it. um, but as far as the story of the FBI or the CIA manufacturing texts, I'm a little apprehensive about that, because even if you take, these texts exist on Tyler's phone, they exist on the roommate's phone, and they exist at Verizon or whatever company their carrier is.
Mhm.
So unless they're willing to say, well, we're going to go in and change all of the hardware in everybody's phone to say this, eventually the real messages would have to come out, right?
Well, I heard he used Feinstein wireless services.
Oh,
So yeah, and he had the Motor Shaloma was the brand of his phone. That was a
okay.
fucking great line. How
Sorry,
fucking
I just I have
mm.
a kind of a hard out at 3 o'clock, so I'm just
Yeah,
trying.
we're out. Yeah. So let me. I'm gonna try it again. I heard the phone that he used. The brand was a Motor Shaloma. Okay, thank you. Jesus Christ.
That was funny.
Verweiselus was his service. Um, but
No Kayem.
um, but It's
Shalom sung.
yeah. Yeah, okay, we got the point. Fucking Jewish fucking phone. But again, the whole thing that I hope we achieved here was that if anybody bitches and moans and said like we're this government fucking mouthpiece, you did not fucking listen to this fucking show. If there are a bunch of people in chat going, these two conspiracy fucking idiots, and then start listing why, like we've covered both sides.
Right.
Our position here is we just don't know yet. And if we had to come up with what we would base it on, we just let you know. Feel free to add to it. Feel free to take it away. But please do not in any way make a claim that we were on one side or the other, because we did not do that at all. And it wasn't contrived. We didn't have, we really don't have one side or the other. I mean, is that fair?
It is. And there's a lot of people, going hard in the paint on conspiracies. So again, it just makes sense that we should at least put some flesh on the bone of the actual story, whether you believe it or not, or just look at the other plausible alternatives and explain why they might be possible.
And we push back with facts to show where it's not lining up very well.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Again, there was just as much, my pushback had, it left enough room for that legit narrative, if you believe in it, to work. But it left plenty of room on that one parameter of the ballistics to feed into what may be not the narrative. So again, it's all there for you, everybody. Time will tell.
And as the wise Opie Hughes once said, it's only gay if you push back.
And moan.
All right. Good night, everybody. If you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, whatever the fuck,
Language, please. This is still my home, young man.
Twitter, whatever, come follow us on Rumble. Watch us live when we're live. And we will see you the next time.
Good night, all.